Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos to each of you. I'm delighted that we can gather in the Gordon Chapel. I know that we were looking forward to being outside today in the meditation garden under the beautiful sun and sky in a Houston October. But we're glad that the Gordon Chapel is warm and welcoming, and we're going to have a bright and beautiful Shabbat morning service together as Leia Key-Cohen is called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. We welcome those who are on live stream and hope that you too are in a safe, dry place to enjoy this Sabbath morning with us. And those who are Zooming with us too, we hope that you are able to see and hear and enjoy everything that we have to be grateful for this morning. And so let's continue as we invite Rabbi Scott to lead us in song.
We begin our service this morning by joining together in singing Hallelujah from Psalm 150. The words can be found on page 100.
We turn to page 75.
May the one whose spirit is with us in every righteous deed be with all who work for the good of humanity and bear the burdens of others, and who give bread to the hungry, who clothe the naked, and take the friendless into their homes. May the work of their hands endure, and may the seed they sow bring abundant harvest. Please turn to page 108 for our call to worship, Baruch Hu. Please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMivorach. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach le'olam va'ed.
Page 110. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uberei choshech, oseh shalom uberei et hakol. Hameir le'aretz v'ladarim alecha berachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid ma'aseh bereshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam bechokma asita mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Tit barach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al morei or she'asita yefarucha selach. Or chadash al tzion ta'ir, v'nizkeh chulanu mehera le'aro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hamerot. We continue on page 113. Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or woman may choose a radical leaving having heard Lech Lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming. Baruch atah Adonai, chabocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Page 114.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vahed.
Please be seated. Page 116. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam Beshivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshofbecha, uvekumecha, ukshartam leyot al yadecha, vehayula totafot beinenecha, uchtachtam amazizot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tizkeru, ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai, V'hitem kedoshim leloechem, ani Adonai Eloechem, asher chotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lehiyot lachem lelohim, ani Adonai Eloechem. We read together in the middle of the page. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem emet. Please turn to page 121. Emet. There is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness there is your word. Emet. That pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way, true and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
Shashi bechu geulim leshimcha savatayam yachad kulam hodu vehimlichu ve'amru Adonai imloch leolam vaen. Shor Yisrael koma be'ezrat Yisrael uvedeichin umecha Yuda ve'Yisrael Go Aleinu Adonai Tzvaot Shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch Atah Adonai Kahal Yisrael.
Rock of Israel, rise in support of Israel and redeem Judah and Israel as you promised. Our Redeemer Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Blessed are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. We continue now with our tefillah on pages 124, 126, and 128. Please rise. Adonai, Sephai Tiftach Ufi Yagite Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leia, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Hastei Avod V'ima'od, Umevi Gula L'nei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozir Umashia Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lechoshia, Mechakel chayim becheset, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Micha mocha bal gevurot, Umidam melach, Melech mimit, Umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emana talech achayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. We read together in the middle of page 128. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all. You sustain life through love, giving life to all. Through great compassion, supporting the fallen, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign who takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up and faithfully giving life to all? Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Page 130.
Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto mishmei marom, Kakatuv al yad neviecha, Nekara zel ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch ol haaretz, Kevodo. Adir, Adirenu Adonai, Adonenu, Adir Shimacha b'chol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo. Echadu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, Vehu Yashmienu, Berachamav Leinei Kol Chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Himloch Adonai Leolam, Elohai Xion, Letor Vador, Hallelujah. Letor Vador Nagid Kol Lecha, Ulenetzach Nitzavin Shatcha Nagdish, V'shivcha Eloheinu, Mipinu lo yamush, Leolam vahen. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please be seated. Page 132.
Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat. Kulam yisbehu v'yitanglu mituv v'chashabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi ratzita bo v'kidosh Shabbat. Chemdad yamim Tokarata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We continue reading together on page 134. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant us a share Shabbat as a heritage. May Israel, who sanctifies your name, rest on Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 136. Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Page 138. Modim anachnu lach, sha'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu leolam va'ed. Tzor chayenu magen yishenu ata hu lador vador. Nodeh lecha unesaper tehilatecha. Al chayenu ham surim beyadecha ve'al nishmotenu habkudot lach ve'al nisecha shebechol yom imanu ve'al niflotecha v'tovotecha shebechol et erev vavoker v'tzohoraim. Hatov ki lo chalu rachamecha v'chamerachem ki lo tamu chastecha me'olam ki vinu lach. Ve'al kulam yitbarach v'yitromam shimcha malkeinu tamid le'olam va'ed. Ve'chol chachayim yoducha selach v'halalu et shimcha be'emet. Ha'el Yeshuatenu ve'ezratenu selach. Baruch atah Adonai hato shimcha ulecha ne'el lehodot. We read together in the middle of the page. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai our God, and God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Page 140. Grant peace, goodness, and blessing, grace, kindness, and mercy to us and all your people Israel. Bless us, our Creator, all of us together, through the light of your presence. Truly through the light of your presence, Adonai our God. You gave us a Torah of life, the love of kindness, justice and blessing, mercy, life, and peace. May you see fit to bless your people Israel at all times, at every hour, with your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace.
Sim, shalom, sim, shalom, sim, shalom, tova uveracha. Sim, shalom, shalom, sim, shalom, tova uveracha. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Sim, shalom, sim, shalom, sim, shalom, tova uveracha.
We pray silently.
Say shalom bimroma, Uya say shalom, Aleinu ve'al go Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma, Uya say shalom, Aleinu ve'al go Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya say shalom, ya say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya say shalom, ya say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
In our prayer book now, we turn to page 244 as we prepare for the reading of Torah. Ein kamocha ve'Elohim Adonai ve'ein kama'asecha, malchutcha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltacha b'chol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai varech et amo v'ashalom. There is none like you among the gods, Adonai, and there are no deeds like yours. You are sovereign over all worlds, and your dominion is in all generations. Adonai reigns, Adonai has reigned. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Adonai will give strength to our people. Adonai will bless our people with peace. At this time, it's a privilege to invite parents and grandparents to join us on the bima as we open the doors of the Aron Kodesh, the Holy Ark, for Torah transmission. Please rise.
Av harachamim, heitiv avirtzoncha, et Zion. Tivnei chamod Yerushalayim, ki vecha levad batachno, melech Eram venisa Adon Olamim.
At this time, standing on the bima before the Aron Kodesh, how grateful we are that the family has come together to participate in an obvious but important transmission of Torah and its teachings. Just as our ancestors stood so many generations ago to receive the Torah, they made a promise that in exchange for the gift of Torah, that they would give the Torah to their children and to their children's children. And so we witness today the marvelous mitzvah to pass this Torah and its teachings from grandparents to parents to child.
Adonai Eloheinu, v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down toward God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Galul Adonai iti, unerom ema Shemo yachdav, Lecha Adonai hagevura v'hativeret, Nesach b'charon, Ki chol b'shamayim uvaretz, Ki chol b'shamayim uvaretz, Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, v'hamid naseh lechol erosh.
On this Shabbat, what a remarkable beginning. As we open the Torah to the first words of Bereshit, the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1, it's a privilege to call to the Torah now Shalom Cohen, Roni Cohen, Patricia Key, to recite the blessings over Torah as we give thanks to God for its gifts.
Adonai HaMevorach,
Baruch Adonai HaMorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayita tohu vavohu V'choshech al pnei tohom, V'ruach Elohim merachefet al pnei hamayim. Vayomer Elohim yehi or, vayehi or. Vayar Elohim et haor ki tov, vayavdel Elohim ben haor uven hachoshech. Vayikra Elohim laor yom velachoshech kara laila. Vayhi erev vayhi voker yom echad. Vayomer Elohim yehi rakia betoch hamayim, vihi mavdil ben mayim lamayim.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו את תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Stand next to Rabbi Scott. Good. Ido and Robin. Is this okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Ta'amod Leia bat Ido Verina la'aliyah la Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayas Elohim et harakia, vayavdel ben hamayim asher mitachat larakia, uvein hamayim asher me'al larakia. Vayichichen vayikra Elohim larakia shamayim. Vayhi erev vayhi voker yom sheni. Vayomer Elohim yikavu hamayim mitachad hashamayim el makom echad v'tera'eh hayabasha. Vayichichen vayikra Elohim layabasha eretz ulemikveh hamayim karayamim. Vayar Elohim ki tov. Vayomer Elohim tadshe haaretz deshe esev mazri azera eitz peri ose peri lemino asher zarovo al haaretz. Vayichichen vatotze haaretz deshe esev mazri azera leminehu va'etz oseperi asher zarovo leminehu. Vayar Elohim ki tov. Vayhi erev vayhi voker yom shalishi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So beautiful. Thank you. Give your parents a big hug. Oops, did I just...
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nevi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai chabocher b'Torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nevi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Our Haftarah is from Isaiah chapter 43, verses 1 through 3. Va'atah כה אמר אדוני בראך יעקב ויוצרך ישראל אל תירא כי גאלתיך קראתי בשמך לי אתה כי תעבור במים איתך אני ובנהרות לא ישטפוך כי תלך במו אש, לא תכבה, ולהבה לא תבער בך. כי אני אדוני אלוהיך, קדוש ישראל, מושיעך, נתתי חופרך, מצרים, כוש ושבע, תחתיך. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim tzadik bechol hadorot ha'el hane'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamedaber u'mekayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al hanevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shanatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu lekidusha v'limenucha lechavod u'letifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'mevarechim otach yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. When God created the earth, he took several days to make each part of it. Although my Torah portion, Bereshit, only discusses the first 3 days of creation, God made sure to spend a special amount of time on each thing. God didn't just make the trees, water, life, etc. all on the same day. The lesson I learned was that it isn't helpful to strive for perfection because in perfection there is always at least one flaw. Maybe God didn't expect everything to be perfect because there is no such thing as perfection. While I was looking at different commentaries, I came across a teaching that said, there are no creatures that do not have a function in creation. Being the inquisitive person I am, I asked myself a question. What about the blobfish? What could an ugly-looking ball of slime, no offense to the blobfish, do for the earth? Clearly, I thought that the blobfish had no function, but I was wrong. The blobfish plays a very important role in the ocean ecosystem. It is a bottom feeder, which means it keeps many other ocean creatures from overpopulating. They help keep the ocean floor clean from other plant matter as well. Everything has its purpose, even though we don't think about it very often. God gave human beings the purpose and responsibility of keeping everything that was created alive. It is up to us to make sure we take care of God's creations. I would like to thank all the rabbis who helped me accomplish my bat mitzvah today and all the other countless things you do. Thank you to Debbie, my bat mitzvah tutor, for helping me learn all the things I need to know for today. Next, I would like to thank my friends for always supporting me and making me laugh with our numerous inside jokes. Thank you to my aunts, uncles, cousins, and grandparents today, and those who are watching virtually. Thank you to my parents for always pushing me to do my best. Without you and your persistence, I wouldn't be the same musician, athlete, or student I am today. Although I hated the thought of it and never wanted to push myself beyond the easy things, you were always there to push me instead. And I truly thank you for that, even though I was stubborn at first. Thank you to my siblings who I know have always loved me very, very, very deep down in their hearts. Lastly, I would like to thank God for allowing me to be standing here today and becoming a bat mitzvah in front of my family and friends. Thank you for keeping my friends and family safe during this time of unpredictability. All the days leading up to this moment have been very special and meaningful for all of us. Thank you for celebrating this day with me. I hope that I can always remember that it is okay for myself to not be perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. I will always have flaws, and I need to learn to accept them. Shabbat Shalom.
Leia, we hear from your Savta, Yashikoach, because it was a beautiful day. And although it was raining outside, the sun is truly shining within this room, and we can see it already coming through a little bit through the stained glass. Your Torah portion was perfect for you. The beginning of your Jewish adult life, the beginning of this beautiful Shabbat day, is reflected in all that you made so beautiful today for us. I know that we had to wait for this day to come, but it came just at the perfect time. And everything that you did, from reading your prayers in Hebrew and in English and chanting the Torah and your Haftarah and teaching a meaningful lesson, was as perfect as it could be. So that there are moments that we call perfect because in that moment of perfection we feel God's blessing. It's been said that where heaven and earth touch is a place where we feel God's blessing because there we did a mitzvah, and you did a mitzvah today. The rabbis also teach Kol hatchalot kashot. It means all beginnings are hard. And sometimes they really are. When we don't maybe understand the purpose of where we are and what we're doing, just as the 6 days of creation laid out for us what there is, but what does it mean to us? What's our responsibility to it? And yet you understood that that bottom dweller in the ocean has a purpose. We haven't been commanded to eat it, but we understand its purpose. So there are things that are for us and the way we appreciate their role in the world, and there are ways that we treat it as well. And as a young person growing up in this world, you have many ideas about how the world should be, how we should perfect the world, how we should transform it into a better place for all people. And that's part of the Brit, that's part of the covenant that we share with God in Judaism, to take what we've been given and make it better. Not to accept it as it is, but to say, how should it be? And you are a partner in it. A Jewish adult, bright, capable, athletic, friendly, outgoing, all the blessings that your parents and grandparents hoped to see in you as you grew are just blossoming today. So you were created too for a very special purpose. And we're beginning to see more insights into that beautiful beginning. This Bereshit, this beginning that God has created, begins again anew this day as you are a bat mitzvah. Leia, we are so proud of you. And I know that while the room should be filled with more people, or perhaps you should be in Israel celebrating your bat mitzvah, your family and friends and Israel came to us. Through the means of technology, we're able to share this beautiful day with you. So although beginnings can be hard, you've demonstrated that it's just a beginning. And the days to come, like the days of creation, will lead to a sense of satisfaction. As God said, Hinei tov ma'od, behold, it is very good. And so is this day. I just hope that in the future, as hard as you work at everything you do, you will also allow yourself a day of Shabbat, a day of rest, like we're enjoying today, and you can enjoy much more now than you felt about an hour ago, but certainly in the future too, after all that you commit yourself to. Make Shabbat, refresh yourself. God's example in Torah is an example for each of us. Mazel tov to you, Leia. We're so proud of you. And in honor of your accomplishments today, we have Some tokens of our appreciation and mazel tovs for you. First, this is a Kiddush cup from the sisterhood of our congregation that you can take home and raise in your home on Shabbat and holidays to sanctify those special moments. This is a certificate from the Reformed Jewish movement for $250. It's to use to help pay your way on a trip back to Israel with a group in high school, a group in college, to return to the place where you'll find your family, but also the roots of everything we share as a Jewish people, and to come home to Houston again, to Congregation Beth Israel, and help us to continue to appreciate not just the history of Israel, but its innovation, its ingenuity, and the place that it will always hold in our world. And this, of course, is your certificate of bat mitzvah. It says, Leia, you really did it. You came to the Torah, you chanted and taught beautifully from Bereshit, signed by each of us. It's a token of all of this day has come to mean to you and our congregation too. And now I'd like you to join me here, and as you face the Holy Ark behind me, Rabbi Scott joins us so that we may bless you. And as we do, we begin first with our prayer of gratitude. We don't take this moment for granted. We are grateful for all that it's come to mean. So we say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh. Blessed are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life and sustained us and permitted us to share this day of joy.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and protect you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha.
May God's countenance shine upon you and always be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, shalom.
May God lift God's face upon you and grant you all that you may wish for yourself and all that your family may wish for you too. May be long life, mitzvah, and a world of peace.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Mazel tov, Leia. Mazel tov. And now we prepare to return the Torah to the Holy Ark. As we raise the Torah now, we rise. Yehalalu et Shem Adonai ki nizgav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of the Lord, for God's name alone is exalted.
Teitz la'im hi la'machazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar deracheha darchenoam v'chon netivoteha shalom. Chadesh yameinu kekedem.
In our prayer book, we turn to the bottom of page 282 and 287, and we join in Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kimishpachot adama, shelo sam chalkinu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, livnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad.
Please remain standing. Page 294. We take this time now to call to heart and mind those dear ones who departed this earth and entered the peace of life eternal. Today, remember all those who have gone from life, members of Leia's family too, whose presence continues to be a source of inspiration to us. In their honor and their memory, we say, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayed chol Beth Israel, b'galav v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam alamei amelia. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitchamam v'yitnaseh. V'yidadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei gudusha brichu. Le'olam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Dami ram v'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens cause peace to reign upon each of us. Amen. Please be seated. Our formal prayers have ended, but our blessings continue, and it's a privilege now to call Leia to stand here and to invite your parents to come forward and to share some personal words with you.
Leia, I'm so proud to stand next to you and mark this moment in time and in your life. You've given us a beautiful service and a lovely day to represent your weeks and months of preparation. I hope you're proud too. I think you often don't give yourself enough credit for what you're capable of. You talked about perfection in your Devar Torah, and I know that you like for things to go as perfectly as planned from the outset. I hope you'll take inspiration from your own words and find the meaning in the journey rather than just the outcome. There's beauty in imperfection, and the irregularities in nature, and asymmetries, patinas, and weathering. There's a Japanese art of repairing something that's broken, and the broken bits aren't melded back together to make the object look like its original state. They're actually put back together with a seam of gold to highlight the place that was fortified. The experiences and the mistakes become a celebrated part of the history. You are skilled at the piano, despite your protests. You excel at honors level work at school, and your commitment to athletics is impressive. In pushing yourself, even when you weren't sure of the outcome, you've grown and found success. You are responsible and independent with your schoolwork, and at home you can always be counted on to help in the kitchen or interpret a weather forecast. You know hurricane facts the way some people collect baseball statistics. You are a truly caring sister and a role model to Aviva. You're creative, which often manifests as a righteous mess, like piles of confetti all over your desk, hot glue gun sculptures, or one memorable time, a bowl of cracked raw eggs in your closet. As confounding as I might find the messes, I hope you will keep indulging all of your curiosities. Keep trying new things, and let your curiosity lead you to places you can't even imagine yet. I love you and can't wait to see where your passions will take you in the years ahead, which I know will pass too quickly.
Leia, we're so proud of you today that you prepared with so much dedication and that you stood in front of everyone here and presented as a bat mitzvah and showed everyone some of the many things you learned through your Jewish education. To be able to complete this task is not just an accomplishment, it's a symbol to us all that you are now in possession of the tools to continue studying our culture and all it has to offer. We're also so proud that everyone could see you today, to see how wonderful you are. You have so many talents. You excel in school and study hard to meet your goals. You're a beautiful artist. You make digital paintings, crafts, and jewelry. You are a musician, although a reluctant one. Your piano playing is beautiful, and you have the skill to teach yourself more if you choose. You're an athlete, and you are strong. Volleyball, basketball, lacrosse. You love to compete, and gratefully, you love the Philadelphia Eagles too. Good choice. Most of all, I'm so proud of you because I know that this was difficult, because you don't always like the light shining on you. The other day we took a walk together, and you were upset with me for saying hello to our neighbors as we walked, because they were strangers to you, and you were worried about what they might think of you. But you shouldn't be. But you were. You had doubts. And even though you excel in math and science, you didn't want to do the honors class, even though you're going to ace it, because I don't really know why. You have doubts. I read a beautiful quote from an Egyptian poet recently, Susie Kassem, who said, "Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will." And I thought that was terribly right, that our reality may be more impacted by our doubts than even our accomplishments. And what would the world be like if we could all overcome our doubts? What could you, Leia, accomplish if I could help you overcome your doubts? And what can counter doubts? I think only love. Love can change doubt. And today I want you to know that you can do anything because we love you, no matter what, and we are all so proud of you.
We want you to stay right here. Rabbi Scott's going to bring over challah and wine. And siblings, please come forward and join Leia. Microphone, please, thank you. And so we can all join Leia in leading us in the blessings. Let's rise and share in our kiddush and blessing over the challah. And Leia, if you'll take the cup, and we'll share with you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen. Amen. And a beautiful challah. If you'll hold that up as we join you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Can tear into that and share it. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos.